Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get lit time, yeah. Oh, it's your boy Time Podcast. Coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, it's me, Todd Howard, back at it again with a new episode of the Boy Time Podcast. And as always, I'm joined by Babby.
Yep. Just me.
Just Babby. We had some scheduling stuff happen this week, so Paul's not here. This podcast is also a day later, so sorry about that. But that's just how
Just
it
take it
is
as
sometimes.
our observing of Juneteenth. We took the following day off.
That's right. That is right. We are going to dedicate this podcast to all of our black friends and solidarity. So I'm doing my part.
Yeah, I get a national holiday. It's crazy.
I know.
We solved racism, everybody.
We fixed it. We fixed it. Furniture stores are finally going to have something else to make a
That's
sale
true.
over.
That's true.
And frankly, it should have been Juneteenth. I don't know any other holiday. Maybe Flag Day. We should get
Maybe.
Flag Day off.
It's very important
I think so.
for reasons I don't want to explain because I just don't. I don't know.
I don't know anything about Flag Day.
I don't know what Flag Day is.
I don't know either. I just know it's June 14th.
Yeah, I just know that.
Yes. We actually have a lot to talk about this week. Not only because it was a very packed week of stuff, but if you listened to our podcast last week, we had some audio issues. It was
Us?
us? Audio issues?
What?
Crazy. That never happens. Yeah, I actually have no idea how it happened. Just Babby and Paul's audio track last week for about half of the podcast was just gone. And then it just magically fixed itself. So
Great.
about half of last week's podcast was usable. We were about a quarter of a way into our Wire Season 4 discussion when you finally popped back in. So we won't be talking about The Wire Season 4 because I feel like you probably got the gist of it in last week's episode. Short answer, we both really, really liked it. It was
Best
our favorite season. We watched one episode of The Wire Season 5. Taken a step back, but that's okay. In my
Not
opinion.
enough kids in it.
There's no kids in it. Well, there are kids in it.
Not as prominent, though.
Not as prominent. And McNulty's back to his old shenanigans, and we're following him again. And it's like, that's why
Great.
Season 4 was so great, is that we
Yep.
hardly had to deal with him. But we're one episode in. There's
Yeah,
7
yeah,
more to
that's
go. Yeah, it was all just kind of setting stuff up. So we'll talk about it. I don't know if we'll talk about it next week. I don't know how it's going to work out.
Probably not.
We'll probably be
Probably.
one episode late or something
Yeah.
like that. But we will be talking about Barry Season 3 because we did watch that this week. And then we'll be stuff that we're covering from last week's. I'm going to just talk about the stuff from Summer Games Fest, which I thought was really exciting. So I will not be talking about Street Fighter 6 like I did last time. I will not be talking about all the space games. I thought Donkey's video on E3 was actually really funny because he said that like every single game is Dead Space, and that is true, including the game made by Dead Space, and the Dead Space remake and the Dead Space with Troy Baker and Roger Clark.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's a lot of space games and Starfield, but that wasn't at Summer Games Fest. I think the only thing that I really need to talk about from Summer Games Fest is the Last of Us stuff again. That's how the whole thing ended. I think the highlight of the show was the Last of Us stuff, and that really is not saying a whole lot. Because
Yeah.
the only
Got
thing...
3 images.
Yeah. The only thing we got was like a concept art from the multiplayer game, which is going to be its own thing. I think it started as like Last of Us 2 DLC, and then it kind of expanded into its own thing. Sounds like that we're going to be getting more news about that next year. In terms of stuff coming out recently, there is going to be a Last of Us remake coming out on September 2nd on PS5. Later, trademarked, coming to PC. So that's pretty cool. They've been posting some side-by-sides over the last week, which I have enjoyed. I think I had some doubts about a Last of Us remake because they already did a Last of Us remaster for the PS4, and it looks pretty good. It's nothing like The Last of Us 2, and I think that's kind of what this remake is trying to make it a little bit closer to The Last of Us 2. I mean, it's even called The Last of Us Part 1, so, I mean...
Now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense. So, yeah, I would recommend looking at the videos. I think the side-by-sides really kind of demonstrate why this was... I don't know if it was needed, but it is nice.
It's going to help with the TV show.
It's going to help. Oh, yeah,
it's
going
nice
to
to have it on PC. Yeah.
Yes. PC gamers, you're getting this and you're getting Spider-Man. So
there will be a new audience that will see
Yes.
this game for the first time, which is good.
that is cool. Not loving that it's $70.
No, that's a little weird.
$80 if you want the deluxe version for a game that came out, over 10 years ago now?
Almost, I think.
Almost. Maybe 9. I think that's
I think
what
it's
I
like
saw.
9. I think it was 2013.
Yeah, okay. So, very old game, $70. I don't know. Naughty Dog does not have a history of remaking games. Is this going to be a Blue Point game, or is this going to be a Rockstar remaster? I don't know.
I hope not.
Hard to say. I would say, given Naughty Dog's track history, it would probably be leaning towards Blue Point, but also Rockstar has a really, really solid track history, especially recently with GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. So, who knows? And then I think I didn't even talk about this last week, but I'll talk about it now. Neil Druckmann did announce that he's working on a new project, but
He can't tell you more.
he said it's too early to announce. So they're probably still like in the early stages of pre-development. But it is nice to hear that he's working on something. I almost hope it isn't Last of Us 3, just because of
Yeah,
how
I can wait another 10 years. I think.
I think the general public needs some time because
Yeah,
you know
people need to catch up.
we love Last of Us 2.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best games. I've
Yeah.
played for a very long time.
But some people really hate it. And I think it's going to be one of those growers where,
Yeah.
kind of like Whole Lotta Red, where everyone hates it,
Yeah.
and then it kind of grows on people.
It's just like, mid on impact for some reason.
Yeah.
And then everybody grows to it.
Yeah, I think Dunkey said that in one of his reviews, or if it was in one of his reviews, or if it was the one where he was talking about comments with The Last of Us 2. But it's like, people were making fun of him for saying it's good when it came out, but give it a couple years and you're going to be seen as crazy for not liking it. And I think that's probably going to be true.
I would think so.
Because it is really good.
Donkey needs more appreciation for just absolute takedown videos because he's a menace.
He really is. When he wants to
When he wants to go hard, he will go
goes
hard.
even though he's usually a funny, jokey man.
Yeah. Sometimes the gloves come off.
Sometimes, I think he's one of the best. He's one of the best guys.
Donkey saved me last year with his, his savior complex of the Last of Us 2, or whenever that was.
Yeah.
Finally.
I mean, I was
A
even
good take.
I was a little wishy-washy when I played it because I really did not like playing as Abby the first time. But then when I played it again last year, I really enjoyed it. It was a complete 180 where I was like, oh, I really like the Abby sections too.
Yep.
It is just one of those. I think it's going to...
I think that is beneficial to the second playthrough because you know that you're going back to that spot eventually. It's not just because the first time I played it, it's like, okay, is this a small cutscene? And then it's 3 hours later, you're like, this is not a small cutscene.
Yeah, you're literally playing through the entire game as the antagonist. And I think once you get that, then it kind of
Once you're out of that
makes sense.
headspace, it improves it a lot.
Yeah. It's definitely not straightforward. It's one of those. It's highly innovative. which means that it's going to have some backlash.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people just wanted Last of Us 1 again. Which, I mean, I don't blame those people entirely, because
But they could
Last
also
of Us
get
1 is
that
great.
elsewhere. It's kind of a genre.
It is a genre. Play God of War.
Yeah, play God of War.
That's pretty much Last of Us 1 too, except they're both men, so really gamers should like that more.
Actually, yeah, gamers will be more likely to play God of War.
But yeah, so we got that new project. The show wrapped. I think we saw that. That was last week. I gave my prediction last week that the show's either going to come out, I think, in the winter or early 2023. Just based on how long it usually takes. Like, I was kind of comparing Better Call Saul's when that wrapped, and then when we eventually started seeing news, and that was about 6 months. And that's AMC, which is a very bad company. I would say HBO, in terms of marketing and releasing stuff, is actually pretty solid. Like, with how they do, like, Barry and Euphoria and stuff. Like, people really dig HBO's release cadence. So,
Plus, they'll want it somewhat close to the release of the re-release of the game.
yeah, I think that was something too, where it's like, I guess Rockstar didn't do anything like that. People thought that the remaster of the original trilogy was like a lead-in to some news about GTA 6, and I think the only thing that really happened is that they announced that it was in development, which was not something that you should tie in with a really bad remaster.
No, that's kind of a weird thing.
It's like, we swear we're working on it.
We're working on it so hard that we barely worked on this.
That's right. And I saw they just did another GTA 5 online thing. It's like,
Let's go.
come on, just work on
We
the
need
game.
more dev fund. We're running low on funds.
And I know the Red Dead Online people are very sad because they have not gotten an update in forever.
Yeah.
But I'm frankly not into either of those. I'm more into GTA 5, but I have not played it in years at this point. But whatever. That was Summer Games Fest, really. There was a lot of space games, and then they brought out Neil Cuckman and Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson. And they were like, hey, we're making a game again.
Hooray.
So I'm very excited. So that's that. But we did have some other gaming stuff this year. Or not this year. This week. The only other main thing was the Xbox Bethesda showcase thingy. That happened the day after we recorded last week's podcast. I did give some predictions, but those have been lost to time. And my predictions were wrong. So
Doesn't even matter.
I predicted that we would not get Starfield gameplay because it just got delayed. And I was wrong, because we did. We got like 4 or 5 minutes of Starfield gameplay. But that's at the end. So let's just jump into what this was. So it started off with Redfall, which is that vampire thing. I said it looked like Vampire Back for Blood. So if you're interested in that. I think it's by Arcane, who made Deathloop and the Dishonored series, so it's on Game Pass.
For a Morbius Back for Blood.
Yeah. I mean, it's on Game Pass, so, you know, why not? I think a lot of people were surprised because Silksong was finally shown somewhere. The long-awaited sequel to Hollow Knight. But I think they were, at the same time, excited and insanely disappointed because the trailer ended and there was no release date or release window. It just ended. So it was cool seeing gameplay. It looked like it had like the movement of an Ori, but with like in the Hollow Knight style, which I am definitely into. Ori is one of the most like fluid games I've ever played. Definitely increasing the mobility, because Hollow Knight is very, like, I don't want to say it's stale, but the mobility definitely, like, you're very slow, especially in the beginning. So that's pretty exciting. I think the most exciting thing is that they added the Pelican from Halo into Microsoft Flight Sim. Yeah, I don't know. I have not played Microsoft Flight Sim. I was just surprised to see it in the
My
game.
immersion.
I can't. It was pretty cool though. They showed it like orbiting Earth, and I'm like, oh, if you could like go to space in a Pelican, that'd be awesome. Even though that's not what the game is. It's a flight simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Actually, we'll not see. That's already out. I just have not done it because Microsoft Flight Sim is like over 100 gigs, and I don't have the patience to learn how to fly a Pelican for real. And the next thing was pretty epic. Minecraft Legends. There's another Minecraft spin-off happening. This time it's an action strategy game. They already made Minecraft Diablo, and now they're making Minecraft Frostpunk. I don't know any other actions. I guess like StarCraft, maybe. That might be an action strategy game. I don't play many action strategy games. I play regular strategy games.
I'm not a nerd.
Well, I'm too much of a nerd because I play regular strategy games.
I don't even like action.
I don't know. I don't think like Civ's action counts because it's pretty bare bones.
You're just sitting there chilling.
Maybe like the Total War Warhammer stuff or like the Total War games where you're like directing units and like battles, but it doesn't look like it's like that. I don't know. It actually looked pretty solid of what we saw, which was mostly cinematics, but there was a little bit of gameplay at the end. I'm like, oh, I might check it out. It's on Game Pass, so why not? All of the things that they showed at the Xbox Bethesda show are coming out within the next 12 months, which I thought was pretty cool, if you ask me. But what we're really excited for is Sea of Thieves update.
Let's go.
This actually kind of makes me want to play the game again. Once it comes out. I'm not interested in playing it now.
In current state.
Yes. But it was pretty fun. Like the whole update was told in a sea shanty. So that was kind of cool. But now you can save your ship loadouts instead of having to reset your cosmetics every single time you play. Nice. You can customize the inside of ships.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. You can name your ships, which I think is pretty epic, as long as there's no profanity. But people will find loopholes.
They'll find a way.
Yeah. And then the only other thing they announced was there's new ways to sell loot easier. I don't know what that means. They did not give details in the sea shanty. But it looked like that there was like a pulley system that like you can, I don't know, there was like a little platform on docks that go down up to like your cargo hold, and so then you can just kind of like take stuff up easier, and you don't have to jump off your ship into the water and swim it to shore.
And die by some idiot spawn camping.
Yeah. So that's coming out on July 21st. So I think we might pick it back up.
I'm down for some sailing.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Oh yeah. So I know I've already talked about this. The guys who made Inside and Limbo, they split up. They're each making their own game because they hate each other. Summerfield has been I believe that's the guy who left the studio. He's making Summerfield. The guy who stayed with the studio, we finally got some news on what his game is. It's called Cocoon. It looks like a weirdo puzzle game, which I wouldn't expect anything less. Coming out next year. I don't know when Summerfield's coming out. I feel like we still got a couple years for that one. So I guess we'll see whose game is going to be better. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It could be either of them. They both, when they worked together, they made great games, but apart, will they be able to recapture that flame? I don't know. In other news, Kojima's making a game with Xbox.
All right.
That's about it. It was pretty funny. Like, Phil Spencer got up and he's like, "We are very excited to be working with one of the most innovative gamers in the whole wide world." And then Kojima's like, "Hello, Phil Spencer. I am making a game with Xbox." And then Phil Spencer's like, "That's awesome. Crazy. We love Kojima here at Xbox. He made Death Stranding. It's the coolest game that you can't play on Xbox. Okay, bye. Let's talk about Starfield with Todd Howard." So I guess let's talk about Starfield with Todd Howard. I don't have a whole lot to say about Kojima just saying that he's making a game with Xbox. I saw people disappointed because there was already a Kojima game announced and they thought that we were going to get news about that, but this is an entirely different thing that Kojima's working on. So he has two things in the works. Unless this one thing is actually what he was talking about at Xbox, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But let's talk about Starfield. Todd Howard took the stage and he started making promises, which is either really good or really bad. He has not learned his lesson.
We've been over this.
I feel like, well, especially 76 had so many promises. And I feel like the small team that was making that game was like, "Todd, stop talking. Why are you saying this? We need 16 times the detail than Fallout 4. It's like, "No, Todd, stop. We're a studio that has like 50 people." So he started making promises. But this is the main team. This is the team that made Skyrim. This is what they've been working on for, what, 13 years? How long has Skyrim been out? I feel like it came out in like 2008 or something. Yeah. So they've been taking their time. It came out in 2011, so it's 11 years old. And now they're like, let's make Fallout in space and not a post-apocalypse. Actually, it's like Star Trek land where everything gets fixed, which is, I guess, good. I don't think like the core like story or anything like that was announced where it's like, what are you going to be doing? I don't think there was any of that. This was also a week ago, so I don't really remember everything. It looks pretty solid. I don't know if you've seen it, how you feel about the Starfield stuff.
I have not.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have like a whole lot to say about it because it was so... It's kind of like watching like that first No Man's Sky thing with...
Like, what is happening?
It's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's cool. It's coming to Game Pass day one, so I will be trying it. Yes. But of stuff that I saw, pretty epic. You got first or third person returning from past Bethesda games. There was like a whole like background system and character creation. It looked really good. Hopefully they don't flub that. You can build your own ships. I was really impressed with that you could like build your own ships and like how you build your ship will impact like how it flies. Like, that's cool. You can also build your bases, which is something that they did in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 to varying degrees of success. You can fly your ship in third and first person. And Todd Howard really made it a point to say that there's over 1,000 planets to explore completely, which means that 95% of the game is going to be walking around empty wastelands. But that's
awesome.
It's awesome. It's like I heard that and I'm like, okay, that's not something to really brag about. That's like 16 times the detail or like stuff like in No Man's Sky, like up to the lead up, like I remember hearing stuff that's like, we've completely reworked the light to be like reflecting around the gravitational pull of planets. And it's like, why? Like, just make a good game. You don't need to go insanely detailed with it like that. So I think it would have been better like what the Outer Worlds did. Make like 10 to 15 planets that are vastly different from each other and fill them with stuff to do.
Huge.
You don't have to make them huge. just like make sure there's stuff to do. Like ever since Breath of the Wild came out and kind of like changed how open world games are structured, not that anybody has really been able to successfully replicate that, but like, I don't know, open world games now just feel like so stale. Like there's so much empty nothingness, where in Breath of the Wild, like the whole world is so alive and there's stuff to do everywhere you go. Hearing that there's like 1,000 planets, it's like, oh, so why? Why? Like, there's no way that you're going to be able to fill 1,000 planets with enough stuff to do to justify it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm also a little bit cynical of Bethesda just because they don't have a great track record right now. But we'll see. I would say it's probably, it's worth playing it if you got Game Pass. I don't know if it would be worth pre-ordering it because not enough stuff has been shown, in my opinion. But we'll see. That was the big thing that happened at the Xbox Bethesda thing. People were expecting Banjo-Kazooie news for some reason, even though that franchise has been dead for 10 years. 10 plus years. I don't know if I count Nuts and Bolts as existing. So I'll say
It was a game.
It was a game. It wasn't a Banjo-Kazooie game.
It was a game.
I don't know. There was some leaks that like Rare is gearing up to make Banjo-Kazooie again. And then the only Rare news we got was more Sea of Thieves stuff. Which I'm not complaining. It looks the stuff that we got looked good. So if it ain't broke, why fix it? Actually, did Rare make that Battletoads game?
It might have, actually.
Because I know they made the original.
Maybe.
They did. They co-developed it with Dialia Studios. Or D-La-La Studios, sorry. So that's cool. Nice to see. I like Rare. They have a soft spot in my heart. Because they made the best games on the N64, and then they got bought by Microsoft, and then it's just been,
Unlucky.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate, but that's okay. Let me see. I do have some Who Asked for This gaming news. We actually have a lot of Who Asked for This news.
Great.
In terms of gaming, we got Arc 2 having Vin Diesel in it. Now, as an avid Fast and the Furious fan, I was excited to see Vin Diesel in a game, but I do not like seeing him with tribal tattoos riding a big dinosaur. Frankly,
It's really
that
strange.
it kind of ruined my immersion. It's like,
You could have got The Rock, but you got
yeah,
tiny white rock.
lesser Rock.
Lesser rock.
And that's funny because they have a feud with each other. They don't like each other.
True. Yeah.
I believe in the new Fast and the Furious, it was in both of their contracts that they were not going to be in the same scene together.
Interesting.
Yeah, they did not like each other.
Be a cool time on set, I'm sure.
I'm sure. So yeah, I'm not gonna play Arc 2, even though I was such an avid Arc 1 fan.
I think I've played 25 minutes of Arc 1 to know that I never want to touch it again.
It was free on Steam, so I did pick it
Yeah.
up this week. But yeah, I have not played it. I didn't talk about this. Todd Howard did say something in like the expanded Xbox game thing with the next releases for Bethesda. So Starfield's coming out next year. Then we're getting Skyrim 2, and then we're getting Fallout 4 too. So pretty exciting.
Or 2.
So pretty exciting stuff.
Remaster New Vegas, you cowards.
Can they? Like I
I
know
don't
it's
know.
like I know it's like tore up in like a couple different studios.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Obsidian maybe?
Obsidian, you made
Actually,
the
I'd
Outer
prefer
Worlds.
Obsidian to freaking.
I would
redo
too.
that.
I would too. I like Obsidian. Outer Worlds is pretty good.
Yeah. New Vegas is a classic. It just did not age well.
No, it's on the Morrowind engine.
Yeah,
so it's a little
very
weird.
clunky.
I started playing Fallout 3, and I'm like, man, this game did not age good.
No, neither of those did. It's like Fallout 3 is all green, and then Fallout
Yeah.
New Vegas is all orange, and then none of the controls work.
Yeah, it's kind of like if Vince Gilligan made a Fallout game where it's just
Yeah.
all like it's what Mexico is.
It's all the same playable area. It's just the different shades to tell you what part of the country you're in.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I would like a remaster. I think those games definitely deserve it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It sounds like that. I mean, we don't know when Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna come out. I would guess we're gonna
3
get.
years.
Yeah, honestly, probably 3 years, because Starfield isn't even out yet, and then Fallout 5. We got like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Todd, either make new studios or don't promise. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't need to announce that Fallout 5 is going to come after Skyrim 2. We all kind of guessed that. So that's a little unfortunate. But let's talk about movie news. Got a lot of movie news. Some of it's exciting and some of it is, I don't know. We'll see. The most exciting thing is that the Knives Out sequel finally got its title. And no, it's not Knives Out 2.
Dang.
I don't know why I said that like a clickbait article.
You won't believe what they named this
You
movie.
won't believe. You actually probably won't believe what they
No.
named this movie. Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay. It's called Glass Onion. I can't believe that's not like their development name for it or like the
That seems
production
like a
name.
project name.
Yeah, no. They made it official. It's going to be called Glass Onion.
Great.
I guess we'll see why. I think that's coming out later this year on Netflix. I don't know if it's going to be in theaters. I hope it is. But Netflix is very stingy about what movies they push to theaters. I think the last one they did was The Irishman, and that was only because Marty Scorsese wouldn't make the movie unless they put it in theaters. So we'll see if Ryan Johnson is a stickler about that too. But in other news about stuff that's also coming out later this year, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio movie.
Oh my
Finally,
God.
we got some, screenshots of stuff. And we got a release date or a release month. It's coming out in December on Netflix. Guillermo del Toro's been doing a lot of things. I follow a lot of animation people on Twitter because I went to school with them. And they've all been retweeting that Guillermo del Toro said that animation is not a genre, it is film. Which is kind of like saying that rap isn't a genre, it is music.
I mean, it's true, but
It is true. Like I get the sentiment,
We
but
do categorize things.
yeah, nobody's saying that animation is not film. Like
A lot of people don't treat it like it, though.
no, they
The
treat it
world
like
shows rap.
kid stuff.
Yeah.
Which
So I get the sentiment there.
I get it. I will be seeing that. I've always wanted to see what would happen if the guy who made Over the Garden Wall and the guy who made Pan's Labyrinth and The Shape of Water made a movie together.
Yeah, that is the weirdest combo of anybody.
Although it kind of makes sense. Like if I like squint and like really focus my brain on those two things, like I can kind of see it. Like they're both kind of weird. But but Guillermo del Toro is definitely weirder. Like
Yeah, I can see it working, though.
I mean, it's probably going to be good.
But a Pinocchio movie is a weird subject for it.
Yeah, here's the weird thing. It's because Disney is also making a Pinocchio movie because the rights are expiring. So it's going to be really weird because I think they're coming out around the same time. So you can either see the weirdo Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio movie that takes place in Benito Mussolini's fascist Italy, or you can watch the watered down Disney thing, which is just the movie they already made again.
Yeah.
I know which one I'm going to see.
Me too.
Because I love Guillermo del Toro.
I love Mussolini.
Well, I don't want to say that. I don't want that to be clipped. You know,
Yeah.
all these guys are out here clipping
sure.
our podcast. But yeah, I'm excited. That one's gonna be good. We also got some movies about, or not. We didn't get some movies. That's so dumb. We got some news about some Avatar movies. No, not the blue people Avatar, you stupid idiot. If you're excited for Avatar 2, you should probably cut your eyes out because you don't deserve to see movies. That came off really harsh.
But look at all the cool CGI, though.
Yeah, I saw people say that after the Avatar 2. They're like, man, it looks really good. It's like, yeah, the first one looks pretty good too. I don't care about the first movie either. But we got some new news about Avatar The Last Airbender movies. These are not made by Avatar Studios. So a little bit,
Ruh-roh.
a little bit unfortunate. These are in the works by Nickelodeon / Paramount Plus.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, I know. But leaks have kind of given us a vague idea. They announced that they're making 3 movies. We've gotten leaks about what they are, so I will announce them thus. One of them is a prequel called Avatar Kyoshi. That one's kind of a given. There's a movie following Zuko, and then a movie set in Korra's era after the events of the show's end. My guess is that they're probably
What's Nickelodeon gonna deal with that, bro?
I don't know. My guess is that they're probably going to adapt the comic series of Korra stuff, because that starts immediately after Korra and I forgot the chick's name. They go into the spirit world. So that would be my guess, is that they're adapting that into a movie. But I don't know. A movie following Zuko could be interesting. We don't know anything about when it's set. If it's him as a Fire Lord, could be pretty interesting. Cool. I could be down for that. He's looking for his mom. That is something that they cover in the comic books. So that could be fun. That there is that cliffhanger after the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then they bring it up in Korra only to immediately shoot it down as a hilarious joke.
I love that. That's like the first episode too.
Yeah.
I never speak of it ever again.
Yeah. I love that they did that, but I'm also a little bit disappointed. I've read the comic, so I do know what happens with Zuko's mom, but I'm not going to say in case they make a movie about it.
Watch a movie.
Yeah, if they make a movie about it, then... See, this is what I'm guessing, because I believe there's Kyoshi comics too. So I think they're probably just adapting.
I mean, that'd be the most safe route.
Yeah.
And the most logical.
Especially since DiMartino and Konietzko are not involved. It's like,
always a great sign.
Let's just take the stuff that they worked on and then make that a movie. That's what I'm guessing. We haven't gotten anything official, so I could be overly cynical, but that's the logical play here. But yeah, I don't know. I might see it. I don't have Paramount Plus, so I really don't have a way to. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And then we got a Kid Cudi movie. Did you see this?
I did.
It's called Intergalactic, an animated love story developed by Kid Cudi and Kenya Barris. Will release on September 30th on Netflix. The cast is Kid Cudi, of course. Timothée Chalamet, very hot. Jaden Smith, also very hot. Vanessa Hudgens, canceled. Macaulay Culkin.
Let's go.
I really like Macaulay Culkin. Laura Harrier and Jessica Williams, who frankly I don't know.
I don't either.
But I do know, I've always wanted Kid Cudi and Macaulay Culkin to work on a project together. That's always been my dream. That's
like a perfect naming combo too.
Kid Cudi and Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, it kind of is. There's a lot of hard K sounds.
Yeah.
Even though I think Macaulay Culkin goes by Mac now, and everything I've seen of him, it's like, because he's on Red Letter Media like all the time. He's probably collabed with them like 5 or 6 times, and every time they call him Mac. But I'm still going to call him Macaulay Culkin because it's a household name, and it's fun. Yeah, whoever their parents were just like, let's give our kids the most Irish names ever. Macaulay
And they're
Culkin and
cool.
Kieran Culkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very good actors. Have you seen... I was trying to think of another movie Macaulay Culkin was in that wasn't Home Alone, but I can't. There's that one where he dies by bees, but I don't remember what that one's called.
He's in Fargo, isn't he?
Is he?
I don't know, is he?
I don't think so. Is he? Macaulay Culkin, Fargo.
I feel like he's in a lot of things, but I can't.
Kieran
tell what
Culkin was in Fargo.
Oh, okay.
He was in the beginning of season 2 and he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we've seen Macaulay Culkin in anything. He doesn't really act a lot. I think he has a podcast and he just has fun. So good for him. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll watch it. It looks like it's kind of in like the Spider-Verse style. Kind
yeah,
of.
the animation looked pretty cool.
So I might check it out, depending on how long it is.
There's gonna be an album that comes with it too, so.
That makes sense. What's it
Whether
with
it's
like
good or not? No idea.
all these like rap and R&B guys are like Kendrick's making a movie, Frank Ocean's making a movie. I saw Meg the Stallion wants to make a movie. Kid Cudi's making a movie. It's just like all these guys, they're making movies, and I don't know if they're gonna have tie-in albums. Kendrick probably won't, because
No.
it's the funny one. But
South Park thing.
yeah,
Hoping Frank Ocean does, because that will be the best.
I hope
ever.
so.
Kid Cudi, I don't know. He's got a very interesting track record as of late, so
Yeah, he
this
made
could
that
just
rock
be the most
record.
average thing possible. That was a while ago, but
Oh, I don't know much about Kid Cudi.
I mean, Man on the Moon 3 was pretty good, but everything else has kind of just been eh.
Okay. Well, who
We'll
knows?
see what he does. He could be a natural at visual art.
Yeah, I don't know.
Storytelling.
I mean, I'm into it. I'm into the style. It looked pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows? Might be good. We do have some Who Asked for This movie news. The first one I put immediately after I heard it, but it's also, by now it's kind of grown on me. That Joker 2 will maybe be a musical. I don't know.
I love it.
And Lady Gaga might be playing Harley Quinn,
Let's go.
which
That makes sense.
it makes sense.
I'll take it.
I think it would be really interesting to tell the story of like the Joker meeting Harley Quinn and like slowly corrupting her to be who she ends up being.
Just turns into a black metal musical.
Yeah, I have no idea. I saw that and I'm like, oh, that's bad. Like, I don't know how you go from like a Scorsese wannabe to now a musical. That's gonna be weird. But now it's like, I could kind of see it because the first one is almost a musical with how much they use music in that one and how like a lot of the key moments are just Joaquin Phoenix dancing. You know, they don't stop everything and just sing. It isn't La La Land.
No.
But, you know, I don't know. There's potential. Lady Gaga's a pretty good actor. I don't know. It might be a little bit weird seeing her opposite Joaquin Phoenix because Joaquin is such a powerhouse. He can probably run in act in circles around her, but who knows? We'll see. I guess that's less Who Asked for This. This is more Who Asked for This. I'm pretty sure they only cast this guy because his name is Kendall in Succession, but Jeremy Strong is playing Ken in the Barbie movie. It looks so weird.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So I heard that they were doing this where there's 3 Barbies and there's 3 Kens, and I believe each one is a different ethnicity, but that turns out to be fake because Ryan Gosling is playing a Ken and Jeremy Strong are now playing a Ken, and those are 2 white guys.
Hey, it's aliens, okay?
Well, I guess
We gotta do here.
Okay, I guess that is a different
POC
ethnicity.
representation.
If if this was the 1890s and Italians
Yeah,
weren't white people, then yeah,
yeah,
this is inclusive.
exactly.
So my guess is that Yahya Abdul Mateen will be playing the last Ken, who was Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen show. That's probably my guess because he's ripped and he's hot right now. But it could also be Daniel Kaluuya. No, he wouldn't do this. He wouldn't do this.
Jordan Peele.
That would be hilarious. Keegan Michael Key. I think Jordan Peele's done acting. I think he's just going to be a
Yeah,
director
yeah.
now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Daniel Kaluuya would do that, but Yahya
No.
Abdul Mateen was just in that Michael Bay movie, so I feel
Anything's
like
possible.
anything's possible with him. He's either in insanely great pieces of art or he's in a Michael Bay film.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Those are who asked for this. I probably won't watch the Barbie movie, even though it's done by it's done by Greta Gerwig, who did Little Women and Lady Bird and stuff. So like these female empowerment movies. So I don't know. It's so weird because it's co-made by Mattel, I think.
Feminism Barbie movie. Let's go.
I think that's what it is.
It's gonna be so weird.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who's gonna be playing it.
I hope they just get deep into like third wave feminist theory, like during the movie, and then just like Kendall's character is just like listening the whole time.
That
And
would
he
be
does
pretty
the whole
cool.
Succession bit where he's like, "I'm a feminist."
Yeah, I don't know if that guy can act because he's
I
pretty
don't
much
know,
just
'cause he
playing
just plays
himself.
Kendall.
Yeah. From everything I've heard from this guy, like offset, he is Kendall. Like he's just an asshole.
Awesome.
So he really is good at playing himself. So I don't know. I might see it. It's coming out next year.
Be interesting.
I don't know. It depends what else is coming out, I guess. It might get, that's probably a summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. The Marvel movies I'm into are coming out. Well, the new Thor by Taika Waititi is coming out on July 8th. And then the new Guardians movie is coming out in the winter? No, in this summer? I don't know. We'll see. But let's talk about show news. We got a little bit of show news, then we have to talk about Barry Season 3. Both of these things were announced today, as of me recording this. After like a couple year hiatus, the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared channel posted today.
Oh no!
Yeah. Did you see this?
I did not.
Oh,
Didn't
okay.
Show up on my feed, which was weird.
That is weird. I got the notification this morning, and I'm like, oh no. Because it's called Fly, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be the Breaking Bad episode.
Season 3, episode 10.
But no, it's not the Breaking Bad episode. But for those who don't know, we're recording this on June 19th, which is the date that is in every single Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Every episode, they have a calendar, and it's always June 19th. So it's Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared
Should've
Day.
seen this coming.
Yeah, we probably should have. But I think they made that announcement like a couple years ago that they were working on something. They finally announced that it's coming out in September on Channel 4. I did not know what Channel 4 was. I don't know if this is a Black Star situation, but they're releasing it on Channel 4, which is a British public access station.
Why?
Yeah. It's free to put stuff on there. So I think this is like come on, check out this new streaming service that's, better for creators than YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. But they also, like, when I went on their website earlier today, there was, like, you could get, like, box sets of the Big Bang Theory and like, I don't know. It's a weird move, but I probably will watch it just because I'm a pretty big fan of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. They're pretty good videos. So I feel like whenever YouTube video series make the jump to like TV stuff, it's not successful usually ever, unless it's Vsauce and the Minefield stuff. So we'll see. I don't know how you take like little 5-minute videos and turn that into a TV show, but I guess you could just expand on the formula of like making this like kids show and then have it get twisted towards the end. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but that's coming out in September. I don't think we got a date. It just said September on Channel 4. So we'll see. And then the other thing, speaking of Avatar news, the Netflix live-action Avatar show has wrapped.
Hooray!
Hooray! Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this show anymore. I was excited for it because DiMartino and Konietzko were a part of it, and then they publicly left, and now it's still happening. So I don't know what direction the Netflix show wanted to take, that the creators of the original show were so offended by that they had to leave very publicly. So we'll see. My guess is the same as Last of Us, because they wrapped the same week. Probably winter, or they might want to drag this out to summer. I don't know. But let's talk about Barry Season 3. I watched an interview. I believe his name is Andrew Callan. That's not.
Andrew Callahan, baby.
No, it's Andrew something. The guy who plays NoHo Hank. I watched him on Jimmy Kimmel, which I thought was funny because they bring up Jimmy Kimmel
That's true.
in the season. They say that the Man Show did not age well, which if you do not know what the Man Show is, Curtis Connor made a whole video about it, and it is it did not age well. It's a lot of like toxic masculinity. Women are tits with arms that could bring me beer. That's the Man Show.
A lot of 95% of Jimmy Kimmel's catalog did not age well.
No. So it was funny because he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy's like, I heard that you mentioned me in the season, and it's Anthony Kerrigan. He's like, oh yeah, we did. And he's like, oh, I'm excited to be just a small part of the show. I'm like, oh, Jimmy, you didn't see the part, did you? He's probably going to be so offended when he sees it. And he promoted it on his show.
That's awesome.
More of his audience is going to see the part where they bash Jimmy Kimmel.
Fantastic.
Very, very sad. But Barry Season 3, what did you think?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Short, sweet. I think it was still humorous despite this show getting ever darker as we continue on with whatever this thing is now at this point.
Yeah, this one was kind of rough for me.
But I don't know. I really like the balance of the humor with it. It was very fun. The show still is like freaking over the top and theatrical and crap, which is fun.
Yes.
But I mean, sometimes it gets in the way of pacing because they like to zoom through things that aren't important to the point where you kind of get whiplash when an episode starts because like they skip 13 story beats because they're not important anymore.
Yeah.
Like especially the finale episode. They're just like are kind of in there.
Yeah. Man, it's hard to talk about this show because this season was like so rough for me. I don't know how you feel. I know that like NoHo Hank, he's still funny. Like he's my favorite. Which it was so weird watching the interview because he doesn't usually talk like that. If you can believe it, he doesn't usually do a Chechen accent.
but he's so good at it.
I know.
I assume.
I would have. I don't know. I think Chechnya is not in like the middle of Europe, so it wouldn't really be like a Russian accent.
It's Eastern Europe, I think, but
is it? Czech.
yeah.
The Czech Republic, because Chechnya doesn't exist anymore. It's right next to Germany. It's like in between Germany and Poland.
Entering Eastern Europe a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't know if it would have been like, yeah, it is me, it is Gabriel, I am Noho Hank. That's not how Noho Hank talks.
Yeah, no.
That's how the other guy talked that died in the first season. But I still really like his character. It's fun seeing him. It's so weird. Like, the Chechen mob in this show and the police have like the same vibe, where they are just like totally incompetent. It is hilarious how they portray police in this show, where it's like this one FBI guy who's like investigating some murder that Barry did. He like storms out of an interrogation room and cocks his gun, and none of the police like even think about it. Like, oh yeah, I haven't seen him since he stormed out of the interrogation room and cocked his gun in front of everybody. But you know, that's just how it is. It's like, oh yeah, if only cops were like that. Especially LAPD cops. Cringe. But yeah, this one was rough. I didn't really remember the end of season 2. I remembered there was a big action sequence with Barry shooting up a monastery of I guess Chechen and Bolivian guys. But now he's super depressed, and all he does is play Gran Turismo 7 on Xbox Game Pass.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. And he lives with Sally, and Barry turned into an abuser there for a second. Kind of rough. Elsie Fisher's in it.
The guy that shoots people is an abusive person. That's crazy.
Well, he wasn't for the first 2 seasons.
No, but
he was a nice guy who just happened to be a hitman. He was trying to get out of it, but Fuchs is such a little scoundrel. But now he's like in it. He's super depressed. He doesn't even want to act anymore, which is so crazy because that's his dream. And Henry Winkler is angry at him now because, spoilers, Barry killed his girlfriend in season 1. And they found out at the end of season 2.
Crazy.
And I thought that Henry Winkler was going to die. That was my thought. I felt like they were setting that up because through the first couple episodes, he's getting kidnapped by Barry, and he's like, he's fleeing for his life, and Barry's just trying to make things right in the worst way possible. He's just kidnapping him and helping him inadvertently almost. And then, like, he finally turns his life around. Barry gives him a bunch of money and gets out of his life, and then he's like, he's like making amends with people. He's like, giving this director that he screwed in like the beginning of his career, he's giving her a second chance. And he's like, wow, he's turning out to be a good guy. Even though for the first couple seasons, he's kind of like a little narcissistic egomaniac, just teaching at acting schools because he needs money. And now, he's actually a nice guy. And I thought they were going to set up that he was going to get murdered at the end of the season. And I was going to be very sad. He doesn't. So that's cool. I like Henry Winkler. I like him. Keep coming back on the show. But Barry is in jail. That's how this season ends. Well, it didn't end with him in jail.
No.
But he was about to kill Bunny Colvin from The Wire. And this SWAT comes up. Which is crazy. That's the only person I've seen in The Wire in anything else. I think Lester was in a music video.
Interesting.
Yeah. I saw someone post a GIF of it the other day, and I'm like, why is Lester in this music video? That's so weird. Let me see. Oh, he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in The Five Bloods. That's pretty cool. And 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I just didn't know him then. Okay, so... Oh, he's in John Wick. Okay, I need to stop looking at this. I'm going to get distracted. But yeah, Barry's like, I'm going to kill Bunny Colvin. And then the whole SWAT team shows up, and it was all a setup. And Henry Winkler was in on it the whole time, which means that Henry Winkler will be dead in season 4.
Confirmed.
Confirmed by Boytime Podcast.
Heard it here first.
But I would say, I don't know how this season stacks up with the others. Because it's been so long since I've seen seasons 1 and 2. I really enjoyed season 2. There's that one episode where Barry has to kill that guy. And it's just a whole episode of Barry just being the worst hitman ever. And that's pretty fun. There wasn't an episode like that in this one, although there was a pretty impressive motorcycle and like car chase scene.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like I saw Elsie Fisher tweeted, Bill Hader has like the weirdest like text cadence. Like you could search like funny Bill Hader responses, and there's like, I'm sure there's like a compilation, but Elsie Fisher was tweeting Bill Hader, and she was like, "You're trending on Twitter," and he's like, "Really?" And Elsie Fisher was like, "Yeah, you've become Twitter famous," and he's like, "I see no money in that." Like he's just so blunt. I'm pretty sure he's joking, but it's pretty funny. Elsie Fisher is a very good Twitter account I recommend. And she's also a very good actor. I hadn't seen her in anything since 8th grade. And then she was in this show. And I thought she was pretty good. I don't know how you feel about Elsie Fisher. I know you don't tend to like women.
Yeah, not a big fan of women. Man, the only things I've said in this podcast is just the exact opposite of everything I usually say. This is crazy. It's the opposite day for me. No, I thought she did very well.
Yeah.
I liked the whole Sally arc throughout the season too. I thought that was very well done. And then
Yes.
just the Joker mode of that, and
She definitely.
I don't know.
had
The show's just so off the rails that I just have to take it in.
Yeah, this season was so different from the other two. Because in the other two, there was at least that like acting class that kind of tied everything together. This one, Sally has a TV show, Barry's depressed and just murdering people. Like he's gone full on like psychopath mode, which is weird to see because he was like kind of weird because he had like a little bit of he had a humanity to him.
Got that dog in him.
Yeah, but he murdered people, and I guess that's the joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This season it was good, but I don't know if I enjoyed my time with it as much as I did with the other two. Just because the other two have like a little bit more comedy to it, I felt like this one it took a turn. And especially with what we've been watching recently with like The Wire and all these like
The Wire
and you know all of that stuff. Well, like Saul and Ozark and Atlanta and just like all this stuff where it's just such a gut punch every time we watch an episode of The Wire like last season. It was like I wanted a break, and Barry was not giving me that break. So I think just where I was at was not the right headspace for this season of Barry, even though I did enjoy it quite a bit.
I didn't think this season was that heavy coming off of The Wire season 4. It was actually a nice break because it's so obviously not true.
Well, yeah.
That I was able to very easily disconnect from it. For like the freaking bakery guy who's like a therapist.
He's awesome.
Great bit.
Yeah.
But there's just little things that are like, they make fun of the world they build, which is fun. And it's a nice disconnect. But The Wire season 4 is too much like real life.
Yes.
Where it's like deeply concerning every time you watch an episode of The Wire season 4. But coming into this afterwards is like, this is a breeze.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's action. It's dramatic.
I think what did it for me is it you know, these characters essentially are like cartoon characters. Like,
Yeah.
I think this is something that Anthony Kerrigan said in his interview where he's like, I've seen videos of like the actual Chechen mob. He's like, I am surprised I'm not dead. Like, they do not mess around, and they are portrayed as like really goofy, like you know, really bad at their jobs. And you know, like they spent like the first couple seasons, it's almost like a big satire of LA and stuff like that. And to see like these cartoon characters like NoHo Hank being like tortured and kidnapped and like forced to murder a bunch of people, and it's just like, I don't want to see you do that. Like, I know it's a joke, I know that there's like funny bits, but I don't know, Barry having like a near-death experience and like watching Henry Winkler get interrogated by Bunny Colvin was horrible. There was just a lot of stuff like that where it's like, these are characters that I like having fun and laughing along with, that are put in these horrible situations that, like, it kind of made me sad. But that being said, it is easier to watch than The Wire season 4, obviously. We'll see how The Wire season 5 is. It looks like they're going to be taking down journalism. So
Once and for all, brother.
they've had it too easy, frankly.
Dude, for too long.
Newspapers have had it too easy in this day and age.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think newspapers died at the same time that The Wire season 5 released, so
That's probably true. Although Gail is in it, so that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, Gail's in it. That's
Gail from Breaking Bad is like one of the editors of the newspaper, which is pretty fun. I sure hope that Gail is in Saul after the hiatus.
That would be fun.
I guess we'll see. But yeah, that was the Barry season 3. So let's move on to music news. Unless you have any of the other stuff. Oh, I do have a miscellaneous thing we could talk about.
Oh.
Yeah. Warner Brothers has no intentions of working with Ezra Miller in the future.
What did they do?
Good question.
Give me one reason why they did.
I saw Warner Brothers said they hope that scandals stay at a quote-unquote low level before the release of the film. Meanwhile, Ezra Miller out here kidnapping girls and
They're just backpacking through Europe. It's fine.
Yeah. And he's
Definitely not on the run.
They're posting Instagram memes of how the cops can't catch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the Flash. Duh.
They are the Flash. That is
Method acting, everybody.
This is how you do it right. Jared Leto, take notes. Don't send dead cats to your co-stars. Just kidnap people and evade the law.
And run away.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny. Thought I'd bring that up.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Now we can move on to music news.
Wow. This week didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, so
Oh?
my planned segment has been kind of deconstructed by one Aubrey Graham.
Oh, the Drake record.
The Drake record. So we'll go through that today. We also got the Logic album this week. We got a Chance the Rapper song. We got a Black Midi song. We got an FKA Twigs song. Yeah, I've listened to other things, but those will probably just take a back seat till next week because this stuff is more priority. It's fresher in the news. But before we get into anything, King Gizzard said they're dropping 3 more albums this year.
Yeah, I saw you tweeted that on our Twitter. That's pretty fun. That's crazy.
How? It's June.
They've released 1 album this year.
You just dropped a double album earlier this year. Like, okay.
I wonder if it's going to be like some live albums or something. Or if
No,
it's going
because
to
they
be
don't
straight.
usually announce those.
Okay.
Those just kind of pop up.
Yeah.
So when they say 3 more albums, they mean like these are 3 more albums. Same thing they did with 2017, where they just dropped 5. And usually, if an artist says that, I'm gonna be like, "No way, you're doing that. That's stupid. You're lying. Stop lying." With King
No.
Gizzard, it's like, no, they actually do that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we'll see. Yeah, that's surprised me since it's literally mid-June. You have 6 months to drop 3 albums. So
Well, that does mean that we will be getting at least 2 or one every 2 months.
yes,
So that's kind of
they
cool.
better drop singles now.
That's true.
Start the rollout, baby.
That is true.
When did Omnium come out? I feel like that came out.
It's like
came
June,
out
wasn't it? Or no, it was May.
we can check now. This
We
was like in
can.
April, I think.
Oh yeah, April 22nd.
Yeah.
I was way off. That's okay.
So I don't know. We'll see when the next one comes. We'll do singles first. I know once I get on Drake, it's gonna be a whole freaking derailing session.
You're gonna have a lot to say about Drake, huh?
We're just gonna have a weird conversation.
Okay.
We'll start with Black Midi since that came out first, technically. Got a new single, Eat Men Eat. I'm guessing this is the last one before the album next month. This is a combo of Western and like freaking Detroit, Michigan. So it's got a little bit of a cowboy flair, but then it just goes off the rails and gets insane.
Okay.
Which I don't know. This record's gonna be crazy. So it seems like they're taking the hardest hitting parts of Schlagenheim, so like those really loud, complicated parts, and then like the melodic parts of freaking Cavalcade. So, and they're saying this is going to be their most cohesive. So I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of through line or concept or something.
Okay.
Which I mean, both songs have dealt with war, and like the military complex. So
Okay.
I'm guessing the record's going to be something like that. But killer, love it. This record is going to be insane. So we'll see if they can top what they've done for the past 2, which seems hard, but I know they can do it since they're on they're rolling. They're rolling.
Yeah.
But that one's pretty sick. FK Twigs got a new song, killer, pretty sick. Nothing too insane, but definitely more. It's less dancey than Capra Song stuff this year. It's a little bit more Magdalene, not too much though. But pretty sick. Her voice is insane. She did a tiny desk in a church last week, and it is absolutely insane. I don't know how her vocal range is that crazy good, but yeah, she was just in a church with like a couple organs and some other stuff and just a microphone, and it was just insanity. So, yeah, I don't know if this is leading into anything since she just dropped something. This might just be like a one-off single, I'm guessing. It didn't seem like it had any like very set direction. It just kind of seemed like a one-off.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm always down for some more Twigs. But that was pretty sick. Chance the Rapper. Highs and Lows with Joey Badass.
I love Joey.
Amazing.
What?
He did it.
What?
This is his best song in like 6 years.
What?
This is great. This is amazing. This is what Chance the Rapper music is supposed to sound like. It's soulful. It's fun. There's a lot of personality in here. Joey Badass kills it.
Does he start talking about Seinfeld?
He does not.
Frick!
Unfortunately. He did not embody the Mr. Robot character.
Dang it.
But he also didn't say any anti-vax stuff.
Well,
So
that's
all
good.
you want from a Joey Badass verse.
That's right.
Speaking of Joey Badass, he was supposed to drop an album, and then apparently there was some sample issues.
What?
It totally wasn't because he just found out that Drake was dropping. So that record will be coming next week, I'm assuming. That was funny because it was like 4 hours before Drake announced he's dropping. He was like, "Sorry guys, this is out of my hands, but I couldn't get some samples cleared," which he would have known about long before the day of release.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of, I see what you're doing.
Why?
I can't say I don't respect it.
I don't understand why people are still like, we can't drop the same day as Drake. Because the last few records that he's done have been worthy of, like, avoiding the date.
That doesn't matter, though, because he sells way too much, and that's all people are going to talk about for a week.
Wow.
So
I don't know.
It's less
Nobody.
about, like, it's less about the quality of the record and more about just the buzz that comes around with it. So you want to avoid it.
I saw people talk about this Drake record for precisely like 12 hours after the record came out, and then nobody's talked about it since.
Oh, people are still talking about it.
Okay, I have not seen anyone talk about it.
It's all about sales. You're not selling a lot when Drake comes out.
I suppose.
That's just the fact.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with this. But the song is great. One of the best this year, I would say. This is coming off of his fourth project. I don't remember the exact name of it. It's got stars in it somewhere. It's like he did the funny little post-credit scene in the music video.
What?
He's like, this is upcoming.
Oh.
Look out. Here it comes. I'll pull up the music video now. I just need to
Do
skip
it
to the end.
now.
The Starline Gallery. So that's the name of the album.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. I dig it. But I'm liking all the artwork and stuff that's going along with this already. So this is looking hopeful. He has not missed with the singles yet. It's just this one is really the standout one.
Okay.
The other ones are like, they're decent, but he didn't have the energy that he had on this one. But exciting. I don't know when this is coming. I'm assuming somewhat soon. But this is a good song, and I'm glad that he's back on making good music, at least for this once. I will take this and cherish this.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
We'll see how this goes. I would be down to do a first reaction to that one.
Yeah.
First Chance the Rapper record ever.
Yeah, first Chance the Rapper record ever. After only being exposed to some Big Day songs, which should probably ruined every expectation you'd have for him. So
yeah, I fully expect this to be absolutely horrible. But
this man has witnessed ball and flossing, so
yes, that's the only thing I've witnessed is ball and flossing.
Yeah.
And isn't there an Ed Sheeran song?
I don't know.
Or no,
maybe.
that's Charlie Puth. Isn't that Charlie Puth? I have no idea. Who's the on balling flossing? Oh, it's Shawn Mendes.
Shawn Mendes.
Yeah.
You probably have it easier, actually. I had to witness like Acid Rap and Coloring Book, and then have to hear the big day. I still remember that day when it came out, which has ruined my entire day. So
Why is there a Randy Newman Chance the Rapper song?
yeah, there is one of those.
That's awesome.
The album's garbage. But we're past that now. The past is in the past.
Okay.
But yeah, looking good there. Yeah, we can get into Drake now. Drake dropped his new album, Honestly Nevermind.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Honestly, yeah, never mind. So this is a dance record.
Yes.
If you want, that is the genre. I'm not telling you what it sounds like.
Okay.
This is a dance house record, house hip hop, house hop. Hip house, I think, is the actual genre.
Hip
I think
house?
hip house is actually the genre name.
Okay.
So it's like South African house apparently because of the producers that are on this. Yeah, this was. This makes Certified Lover Boy look good.
Is it really that bad?
It's really bad.
Oh no.
I listened to it twice just to make sure I wasn't like overly hating without like giving it a true listen. But I listened to it twice, and yeah, it's really bad. I like that he's trying something different since he hasn't switched it up at all in the past couple of records, but like it's like he tried and then went honestly never mind and then just stopped trying.
Yeah.
Precisely 30 seconds into the record, I think. I think the production is fine, but I think it makes the production feel lifeless because the person I don't want to say rapping, crooning over it is more lifeless than the beat. Because these beats would work well if you have someone on it who's actually like attempting to, match with it.
Yeah.
Or bringing some kind of energy to make you want to dance with it. This is like a COVID dance album because you can't see anybody else and you're stuck in your house. Then you just don't want to dance to it because what's the point? I don't understand how you do this intro and then go into Falling Back, which is possibly the worst song Drake's ever made.
Oh, wow.
Just the mixing on this song is so awful. He did like the Kanye iPhone 6 like voice recording type thing, so it sounds super compressed, and then the beat is clipping, and it's so bad. It is awful. And how long is it's a 4.5 minute song, but it feels like it's 8 minutes because it's just the same thing over and over again. It is the worst song.
Ugh.
It is so horrible. Text Go Green, again, 5 minutes of the same thing. You get the gist of the song about 2 minutes through. The beat's okay, nothing crazy. These beats are all like, they're very acceptable, but like I feel like Drake just makes them worse. Like he makes them seem like the beat is bad. But I mean, there should be nothing wrong with them. Except for Currents. The beat is bad in that because they use a freaking bed spring. So they're just a eat like throughout the whole track. And I'm not talking to box. I'm talking a literal bed spring. And then Drake goes slow it down, and then the bed spring slows down to go eat. It's really bad.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, Sticky's okay. Massive's okay. Jimmy Cooks is the best song because it's an actual Drake song. I mean, it's just a rap song with 21 Savage, and it works, and it's fine. I think 21 Savage has the best performance on the entire album.
Well,
So.
that's not surprising.
Which, yeah, is surprising. Yeah, it's disappointing in the fact that, like, man, this is just the most lifeless, quote-unquote, dance record I've ever heard. And the fact that, like, he could have made a really, really great one if he, like, put more time into it and actually tried. Like, he is so monotone here. It's insane. And he does this weird high register thing on Fall Back, like he's trying to be The Weeknd. But the mix of it is so awful. It's literally torture. It is awful. I hope he wasn't planning on making that a hit because it has 11 million plays, which is very concerning, considering it is the most popular song on here besides Jimmy Cooks.
Jimmy Cooks.
That's still the funniest name.
I'll
give him that one. I will give him that one.
Yeah. For I guess those who don't know, Drake was on a teen drama in Canada called Degrassi, The Next Generation, where he played a kid in a wheelchair who played basketball, and his name was Jimmy Brooks.
Yeah.
So now he made Jimmy Cooks.
Jimmy Cooks, because he's cooking up these hot jams for your summer.
Which apparently are really bad.
They are not summer jams. They are lie in bed and jamming your dreams.
That's awesome.
Yeah, people have been defending this record. Like, not a lot of people, but some of them are like, it's just a house record. If you guys never listened to house, and it's like, this is not what that is. These are beats that sound like it because it comes from a producer who does this, and then Drake trying to do something over it. I don't know what his plan was here. All these are like underwritten, not well performed. This feels like it was made like right after Certified Lover Boy as like a side project, but then like he forced it out for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, because this could be good. Like, if you give it more time, and maybe if you get producers that'll be like a little bit more exciting to match you, or at least give the tracks a little bit of life. Like, Drake has made bangers upon bangers. There's no way he couldn't work with this style. But this is not good.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. This was it's 52 minutes too, and it's
too long.
Much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Oh, Drake.
Yeah. Take a break. Not working for you.
Yeah. Well, who knows? We might get it might get nominated for Best Rap Album, like Certified Lover Boy did.
and then he backed out of it.
Then he backed.
Nah, I doubt it. I
You don't
feel
think
like
so?
this is a flop on release.
Okay.
Our people are like, listen to it more times. People give Kendrick like a week before they form an opinion. Like Kendrick doesn't just, Kendrick doesn't just take a weird like house beat and then just go for 5 minutes on it and then call it a day.
No, Kendrick puts thought into everything he says and
Well, and
how
it's
he
more
does
it's
it.
more unique too. So
Yeah.
it's like people have to adjust to like his different style because every style he does is different. But yeah, this is a big flop. Honestly, Nevermind is probably the best title for this thing because it's going to be skipped over in his discography, and honestly, that's just what it sounds like. It's not something that should have ever come out. I don't think. Like this should stay in the freaking vault for a while. There's no reason to put this out right now. This is not a summer album. If you're looking for good house like dance hip hop, IDK literally put out that this year in May. It's only 20 minutes, but it's so much better. It's got Kaytranada on production, so it is just dance heavy. It's crazy.
Or listen to Porter Robinson's Nurture.
That's not at all what that is, but yeah, do that still.
It's fun electronic music.
It's EDM, yeah. House usually isn't, or house hip hop, I should say.
Oh, house hip.
Yeah, house hip. But yeah, IDK's Simple is a good example of how you do like a house rap album. And Kaytranada is fantastic. I saw some people comparing this production to Kaytranada, and those people, I feel like they haven't heard with their ears things. It's so different. Even Die Hard off of Mr. Morale is better than every single song on Honestly Nevermind. And that's Kendrick's one like toe into like more house South African style.
I like
That
Dry
goes over
Hard.
so much better than Honestly Nevermind. Like the entire thing.
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like some like European people were more open to it because I know house was big in the 90s over there. But like I there's no appeal here. Like I could see this album working with maybe a different person singing, rapping, but still it doesn't feel done. It doesn't feel life. There's no life through this thing. It's just dead.
Maybe if Chance the Rapper made it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting. Chance has to just like get back to what he's done before. He's got to retrace his steps a little bit. Drake's got to. I don't know what Drake has to do at this point.
Stop making music.
Yeah, I mean, I know like Scorpion came out in 2018 and then he waited until last year to do Certified Lover Boy, but I think you need another break.
Yeah.
Although he's dropping Scary Hours 3, so.
Wait, he already announced something new?
Yeah.
Drake.
Which, the Scary Hours 2, to be fair, is the best thing he's dropped in a while, so.
Yeah.
And Scary Hours 1 had God's Plan on it, so.
That is pretty awesome.
He does have a good track record when it comes to Scary Hours, but those are also like 2-song sets, usually. But I don't know. This is genuinely like an artist where I don't know what to do with you right now. Like, this seems, it's not even like a chance where you drop some good records and then like a flop. It's like, it's been mediocre, bad, and then whatever this is.
Yeah.
So, it's weird. To add to the weirdness of things, Logic dropped his best album this week.
Wait, like period?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, it's out. It's 30 tracks. It's only an hour and 11 for 30 tracks. So, most of these are short, which is good. I think it helps it a lot. It's got a very vintage feel, kind of J Dilla, Madlib-esque, where a lot of the songs are short, but the whole thing is kind of tied together through just like those snippets of just switching and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like he found his groove finally. Logic is a strange individual. I don't think anybody needs to know that. he started off hot. His Young Sinatra series with the mixtapes were all pretty good in the early 2010s. I enjoyed a lot of those. His first album, Under Pressure, was pretty good. I don't think it's anything crazy, but it's still a pretty good record. I think most people will agree. And then he kind of just started plummeting a little bit. I think Confessions is the rock bottom of this, where it's just awful.
Yeah, but that was intentional.
Yeah, apparently that was intentional, which I don't believe. But that's where we kind of saw the root of all of Logic's problems, and that he cannot take criticism
No.
in any form. Confessions was literally him like trying to make this piece about how he's not going to let people get into his head online, like critiquing his music and stuff. And then that album turned out to be the most bitter, like self-depreciating, like not good thing that he's ever done. Besides Supermarket, but I'm not going to count Supermarket because it's a soundtrack for a book. But it is really bad.
Which is the weirdest thing.
It is really
a soundtrack
bad.
for a book.
Yeah, and it's like an indie rock album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like not anything anybody should ever listen to. But Confessions is still like a mainstream like release from him, and it just really showcased that side of him who just cannot get out of social media and what people say about him on the internet, and it's ugly, and not in the good way. No Pressure 2020 was that was his retirement album. That was bringing it back to like his first record. It was pretty good. Not like insane or anything, but like, it was a good outro.
Mm-hmm.
But newsflash, he was retired for about 6 months.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Whatever he needs to do to figure out what he's doing. But I think he's found it on this record. I think he's finally found peace where there literally is no pressure on this one to do anything. Like, this is his last record with Def Jam, and then he's free.
Oh, okay.
Didn't overthink it. No big concept. No none of that, because he obviously can't do that. Across many records, we've seen that. But he's just taking it back. He's doing these. It's like a love letter to hip hop, because this record is literally like a hip hop heads that can just a hip hop fan that can rap. So it turned out to be something like that, where it's a lot of vintage hip hop sounds, a lot of J Dilla influence, Mad Lib influence. There's like Beastie Boy samples and Tribe samples and Wu-Tang samples and a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, I think it's a very smooth experience, despite it being an hour and 11. There's a lot of skits. I think there's like 8 skits, but most of them are like little voicemail snippets from random people.
Are they as funny as D's Nuts?
They're not.
Frick!
There's like a J.J. Abrams one and a Nardwuar one, and there's an Anthony Fantano one.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Did he actually call Logic?
Yeah, he didn't know how it worked, so the most of it is like, do I just say what I'm gonna say right now, like in this voicemail, or do I have to actually call you and have you pick up the phone and then I'd say it, or like how does this work? So that was kind of cute. So yeah, a lot of them are just like interlude things, but they slice up the album well. I don't mind them. But yeah, a lot of his best tracks are on here. I think he does best where he just like doesn't overthink things. He just goes. And I'm not expecting anything like big lyrically from him. The only thing I request from Logic is to not recycle lines, and he doesn't do that. So my one criteria is met.
That's great.
But flows are pretty great. He does get outclassed by features a lot. I think Blue absolutely murders him on Orville. But Blue is just Logic if Logic had a upward like success rate. So Blue is like the master of Logic style. So it's kind of hard to match that. But RZA out raps him. Royce da 5'9" absolutely buries him. AZ definitely goes over him as well.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Action Bronson does too, actually. Action Bronson went insane. Not to say that Logic's verses were bad, but like you're just pulling in all the people that you're a fan of, and like they are absolutely washing you. But it's fine. I mean, this feels like a full on like mixtape, kind of, where there's a whole bunch of ideas sprayed across. There's not anything like too cohesive about it. But I mean, he's putting the people on that he likes. He's getting all those done. This is like a great homage to the genre and what he likes the most from it. So yeah, there's a couple of like cringe bars because it's Logic, and that's gonna happen, unfortunately. But they're not too crazy. There's a couple crypto bars which are like never raps about crypto ever.
No.
I think one was like my cryptocurrency's in the 7 figures, but I feel like when he wrote that, that's what it was. Now it's probably in like the 4 range, maybe 3.
Yeah.
I think there's like 1 or 2 mumble rap lines, which is weird. There is an F slur, which is weird. I don't know why he decided to put that in there, but like okay.
Like a Kendrick F slur, or just using it?
He just like people used to call me that.
Oh.
That's it. That was his justification. So I'm like, Kendrick centered the whole track around it. This one's like, you don't need to go that far to tell us that people made fun of you.
Yeah.
Which sucks because that song is really good. I really like the energy on that song. But you know, he took it to the vinyl days a little bit too far.
Oh.
He went a bit too old school on that one. But yeah, it's not like it's not a big deal breaker. It's just weird that he decided to put that in there.
Yeah.
But that's whatever, I guess, Bobby. There's also a verse about how he used to hate Anthony Fantano and wanted to kill him, but now they're best friends. Which isn't exactly true.
Why?
I don't know. I know Fantano was like in a weird spot with that, where he's like, "Why did you do this?" I think I get the point that he's making. Is like I've finally made peace with like, oh, Fantano actually like we have a relationship now, and he's like, I don't hate you because I give you negative reviews. I just like, here's some very basic advice about how to deal with that. And then Logic's like, hey, that's really great. Probably because he's had no interaction with critics ever, so he just thinks that they're like out to get him or something.
I feel like Fantano is usually pretty constructive.
Yeah, he is. And they've had like multiple interviews and stuff, and like he has a voicemail on this record and stuff. But the way he went about it was a little weird. I think he's taking Fantano and kind of blowing it up to like critics in general.
Yeah, probably.
Which is interesting. I mean, I feel like I would have cleared it with Anthony before I did that because it didn't seem like that happened. But that's hip hop. So if he's uncomfortable, I think he is uncomfortable about that. But it's fine. I mean, like, hey, if you get to put all these reviews out with that, I feel like a rapper calling you out a little bit isn't the biggest deal.
No.
So I don't know. I really enjoy this thing. I think so he put on like a new artist, Nezi Momodu, from I think she's Nigerian. She is insane. I don't know who this person is, but like he dedicated a whole track to like, here's my influence being used on a newer artist. Check this person out, and then she just spazzes. So that was really fantastic. So I'm definitely looking forward to what she does. Or I don't know if she has. She doesn't have. She has an album from 2018, but not too much stuff here. But yeah, that verse is really great. But overall, this thing's pretty good. I'm surprised there wasn't anything that like threw me off about it too much. There's of course a little bit of road bumps, but like, he feels like he's comfortable in his own making a record again, which is not something he hasn't felt since probably when was Incredible True Story? That was probably like 2016, 2015. Okay, yeah, 2015, I would say.
Well,
which is a long time ago.
Yeah.
I feel like he was in defend myself from critics and damage control mode for a good like 6 years.
Yeah.
So now that he's retired and he's independent, I feel like he's going to be making stuff that he just wants to make now, whenever. I think he does the best when he does have no pressure against him, and it's just kind of like, here's some music, because this stuff turned out great. So good job, post-retirement album. Very good. or non-retirement album, coming out of retirement album, maybe. I don't know. Leaving Def Jam and starting a new independent journey album.
That's fun.
It's weird. But yeah, good job. I was not expecting this. Like, when he first referred out, it was like 30 tracks. I'm like, oh no. Like,
Yeah.
the last big Logic project was okay, but the one before that was like so bad. And I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. But people are digging this one, and I think it's the best Logic album probably. I think Under Pressure, nostalgia wise, would take it, but I feel like if I re-listen to that album, I wouldn't like it as much as this one, just because Under Pressure is I'll call it the gateway to hip hop album because it does everything other artists do, but slightly more toned down and basic. So anyone that has never listened to hip hop before, and I feel like Under Pressure is a good starting point. It gives you the basics of the genre without being too heady or over the top or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But a good record still. But good job, Bobby Boy. You made a good one. You did it. So cool.
What a big surprise. A Drake record turned out to be really bad, and a Logic album turned out to be really good.
Yeah, it's a weird twist. And Chance the Rapper has the best song of the week for me.
That's right.
Like, what is happening?
This is some weird. We're in the alternate dimension.
We are in
timeline.
a multiverse world. We have been transported somehow.
Yes. It's the Berenstein Bears, not the Berenstain Bears.
Frick.
What?
I always thought there was an I in it.
I thought that Nelson Mandela died in prison. Even though he's famous for getting out of prison and ending apartheid.
That was fake.
That's fake.
Mandela effect, baby. But that was the big stuff this week. I did listen to more Swans, and I've listened to a Duster album, but we'll talk about that next week. Just because I don't expect it to be as crazy, so I can talk about those things without spewing too much stuff at you.
We probably won't have another Drake record for you guys.
I would assume not.
But we do never know. He could surprise us again.
Yeah, maybe he's like gonna keep releasing things until something clicks and people like it.
Yeah. He just
He's
finished
going
his
through it.
ambient record with Brian Eno production.
That'd be kind of sick.
Yeah, I would probably listen to that. Then his if he's asleep at the wheel, then it would be fine.
Then it's better
Yeah.
because that's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah. Maybe you should just do that.
That'd be cool. I'd be down. I feel like there's something coming out next week that just got announced. Oh, Beyonce is coming in July, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. People are very excited.
Yeah, so I'm interested in that. It seems like Act 1 is in July, so
Yeah.
I think there's going to be 2 or 3 acts probably. But, Soccer Mommy, new album comes out next week.
What? I would be interested to listen to that.
Yeah. I really liked Color Theory. I've heard... What are the singles on this thing? I haven't heard any singles on this thing, actually. I might have heard one in passing, and I thought it was weird. But I haven't heard any of them, sat down and listened to them. I feel like there's a producer on this that is an interesting pick here. But I'm not seeing any producer lists or anything.
Oh, I forgot she made that Wii song with KKP.
Yeah. I feel like Flume was involved, maybe? Maybe it was Flume? I feel like there was some kind of electronic producer involved in one of these songs, but I could be crazy. But that's next week. I don't know if she just announced that, because I just saw it today. I don't know if that was just announced, but I saw, the vinyl pre-order go up.
Oh.
But, I don't know. I'm interested. We'll see.
Soccer Mommy has... Is it Sometimes Forever? Is that the new one?
Yes. Yeah.
Teamed up with producer Daniel Lopatin.
Oh, that's not the person I was thinking.
I don't know. One O Tricks Point Never.
Ah, that's who it is. Yeah.
That's his name. I don't know why
Okay.
I don't know why Google said Daniel Lopatin and not One O Tricks
it's
Point Never.
Everybody knows him as One O Tricks Point Never.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested. I
know how
love
it's gonna
Dawn FM.
I mean, she does indie rock, so I have no idea what this is gonna sound like then. So, this could be,
I'm in.
pretty fun. So we might do a reaction to that. Stay tuned.
I don't even care about talking about Kendrick. Let's just keep making videos.
We'll keep pushing him back. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep pushing him back.
Okay. Well,
I think that's everything now. So
if you guys like King Gizzard, you should check out our main channel where we did a reaction to
video's
Butterfly
out right now.
3000.
Do it.
It actually came out yesterday.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's out though.
It is out. Yeah, I'm really proud of this one. I did a woo counter.
You did do a woo counter.
So there's 11 woos.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I guess he does do it like 3 times in a row on one of those songs.
Yeah, I think I was a little worried because I did it in like the first like 3 or 4 songs and I only had 2. And I'm like, oh no, is this gonna be all for nothing? And then there's like one song where there's like 5. I'm like, oh okay, now it looks like worthwhile.
No, it's a complete counter.
Yeah, it would have been weird if I ended the video with like 4. It's like, then why did I even do it?
But yeah, we'll have King Gizzard out right now.
Now.
Next week we're gonna do part 1 of our summer songs series.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. And I guess 3 more King Gizzard reactions once those come out.
Eventually, yeah, sometime this
Depending
year.
on what they are, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what they are. If they're a thrash metal one, I don't want to listen to that.
I don't know if I see them going into that. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. They could do anything. So
Yeah, I guess we'll
We'll see.
see. Yeah.
but lots of stuff coming.
Yeah. Next week I'll be talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi because it'll be over.
Nice.
Just so you know, just so you guys can skip ahead a certain amount of times if you're not into it, or if you just want to skip this next week's podcast because you hate Star Wars and Ewan McGregor, and you hate when I talk about Star Wars, then you can do it. As of right now, the show's been pretty good. Episode 4 was pretty weak, but episode 5 was pretty dang epic. So we'll see if it sticks the landing. I'm almost expecting it not to, but that's okay. But we'll save that for next week. And we'll also be talking about The Wire season 6, so that's fun.
6?
What? Also, as we're talking right now, there was a Saul teaser released. I didn't watch it.
Saw like reaction.
No, it's like a picture of the meth lab that's being built, and it just says, "Now what are we going to do with you?" The last episode's July 11th. So
Gale Arkin coming.
probably. So yeah, we'll be talking about that later. But for now, I have to go ride a steamboat.
To wash my car.
To wash my car. It's 5 million degrees outside, but my car's dirty and it needs a bath.
It gotta be washed.
That's right. People don't bathe their cars enough. I find that to
People
be
don't
true.
bathe enough.
Well, that's true. That is true. So